All right. Audio sounds good. Hey, y'all. Hey. Welcome in for the last Kingdom Business Live of the season. Y'all, I just watched the episode 2 hours ago because I really just. I don't want it to be over. I don't want it to be over. So I just kind of dragged my feet. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I just dragged my feet and took my time with watching it. Um, and I did. And now we're here. I thank y'all for y'all's patience and adjusting. I'm sorry I had to bump up this live. I know I was originally supposed to do it at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I had to move it up because I have plans that I didn't realize. Didn't want to double book, but I kind of did. And I knew I could not like push this back any further because I know that some of y'all have been chomping at the bit, like chomping at the bit for the last 4 days. So many of y'all hit me up right after you watched it on Thursday, like, oh my god, that finale, crazy, cannot wait to talk about it. And as can I, well, could I? Again, I didn't watch it until 2 hours ago just because I knew it was going to be good and I just didn't want the season to end. And now I'm a little bit sad because the season is a little over for us. Even though I'm going to go back and rewatch it because they did their damn thing. Hey everybody, welcome in to the season 2 finale of Kingdom Business live after show. What your good sis? You let us talk TV with. Shout out to all the members in the chat. Money Green, Tay, Aaron M. I think Kimberly Felder's gonna be popping on. I know Kofi also loves to talk about Kingdom Business as well. And then everybody, hey Aaliyah, hey Tracy B. Tracy, I appreciate you, honey. You be holding it down over on Twitter, making sure me and Allie have all that we need to know about the Sisters universe when the little tidbits of information drip out over there. So we see you, boo. Hey Nikki, if you are in the live right now, then just at least drop a hello into the chat so I can shout you out and say hey, because I cannot see who is watching unless y'all say something. Okay, unless y'all say something, I cannot see your username and don't know the name to the number. So I see the number of people that's currently viewing, but I don't actually know who those people are. And if you don't feel comfortable posting in the chat, that's fine too. But this is a special hey for you. How you doing? Hope you having a wonderful Sunday. Hey, Mimi loves peace. How y'all feeling? Let's start off there. I feel like I need to warm up a bit when it comes to this whole thing. Yeah, how y'all feeling about the finale episode, but then also the season? Hey, Jasmine. Welcome in, honey. I think that they did a really phenomenal job with telling their story over the course of the second season. I really enjoyed season 1, but I do believe that season 2 was even better. Which is so interesting. It's so interesting to me when I feel like a series that has done a really great job to begin with does an even better job to follow up. So it's almost like, well, how do you just keep getting better? It's like, how do you keep getting finer? How do you keep just improving upon damn near perfection? Hey, Candy Love, welcome in, honey. Karamaya, did I mispronounce it? Let me know if I did. Hey, Cedric, welcome in. Candy Love said this was a 10. Yes, drop y'all's ratings for the episodes. Tracy B said 10s across the board. 10s across the board. Nyla, hey boo, how are you? And Janetta, hey honey, there's some new faces, so I haven't seen you guys before, but I am welcoming you here on this live. And the more you talk, the more I'll get familiar with your username and all of that. Hey Kimberly, I knew you'd be in here, honey. How are you? How are you this Sunday? Karima. Oh, okay. Karima. Got it. Karima. Kind of like the actress who plays Grace on All American. Karima. Dang, everybody is giving this episode 10s. Everybody is giving it 10s all around. Daycare Mall says a 10. Christina Walker says definitely a 10, but sad the season is over. Aaliyah says 10, 10, 10. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand why y'all are giving it a 10, but your good sis cannot give it a 10 all the way. Like, I'm really high up there, though. Like, I feel like I'm hovering somewhere around, like, a 9.5, 9.6. But I do understand. Jalen just gave it a 10 as well. Money Green Tay and Aaron said 10s. I'm sorry. Your good sis, the highest I can do is a 9.6. And we're going to talk about it on this live, for sure. And in my breakdowns. Because my breakdowns are still coming. I owe you guys breakdowns from the rest of the season. And let me know if I'm like too loud, because it says I'm peaking. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm not peaking. The audio's fine. I'm like, why is it showing me that I'm like screaming into the mic on y'all's side, but it's not doing that. Yeah. I owe y'all's breakdowns, like episode 3 all the way up to through 8. So you're still going to get that, and you're going to get that really soon. Like, I already started recording retroly. Because again, like I said, I'm going to rewatch and then also finish off those so that we'll still be able to talk about the season. I also, because they don't drop like trailers really, like they really just started to integrate any type of social media promotion week to week, like after the actor strike ended. I feel like I started to see more things pop up about them actually promoting Kingdom Business. But again, even with that, they didn't have any trailers for week to week. So I couldn't do what I would typically do with like Sisters or with All American, where I would do like previews for the next week and predictions. Even though I had a bunch of predictions written down that I wanted to record for this prior to this. And I just kind of got busy and I didn't get a chance to record it. I'm sorry, Kofi. Cause I told him I was going to do it and I did not do it, but I have them written down and maybe I can discuss them. I have them on like a Google Docs app. On my Google Docs, but most of them didn't happen. Like, the finale is nothing like what I thought it was going to be, but it was still so great. So I said all that to say, because they don't give us like a ton of like teaser content or additional content, I feel like it's so hard for me to create additional like subject videos like I do with other series, right? But now that we have the full season, there are different parts that we can still go into and talk about more now that we have like all 8 episodes and we have further context. Shout out to our Negro Dex. Dex is that I thought that he was gonna let me down. I was losing hope. I was losing faith, Dex. I was just clutching my pearls like, why, Dex, how could you? We were rooting for you. And you know what? We should have been rooting for him because he did what he had to do. So I would say that Dex is definitely one of the predictions that I had that actually came true. But I love the little okido that they gave us in the beginning. But I can also do like videos talking specifically about subject points now that we have the whole season. So we don't gotta stop talking about it. Just because it's over or because we won't be getting any new episodes does not mean that we have to stop talking about Kingdom Business, because we don't. I am going to be rewatching it. I know personally, if that's something that y'all want to do, we could do it as a group, or we could bring back the rewatches and, you know, Kiki and rewatch it together. I still feel like they answered a bunch of questions, they wrapped up a bunch of storylines, but now they have also presented additional ones, right? So there's still a lot that we could definitely talk about outside of like a simple episode breakdown. So for the next couple weeks at least, expect to still see some Kingdom Business videos where we can talk about some of the things a little bit more. Shout out to all of y'all that just popped in. If you're new here, this is my live after show where I'm talking about Kingdom Business, the season finale. So it'll be episode 8 as well as the rest of the season. People have already dropped in and they feel like this episode has been a 10. Everybody is giving it a 10. Hey, Patrice. Yeah. So why am I giving it a 9.6? I'm giving it a 9.6 just because for me, they left a few things unanswered. And I wasn't a huge fan of the pacing in this episode. Now, the pacing wasn't bad. Some things just felt a little bit just disjointed. And some things for me felt like they had to wrap it up. So they're going to wrap it up, but they probably needed additional time. A big thing for me is the jump between episode 7 and 8. And I really need to go and rewatch episode 7 because I'm trying to understand how Elijah being there is kicking up no dust, no smoke. It's just kind of like he fades to black. Aside from, him finally getting introduced to Caesar, if I'm not mistaken, episode 7, she was introducing him to the kids. And I'm just like, we don't get the reaction. We don't get to know how they feel about it. We don't really get to see anything. And then the third detractor for me, which again, it's still 9.6, so it's still very, very high. But the third detractor for me for this episode was Yolanda's acting. And I was thinking to myself while I was watching, I was like, Miss Yolanda, are you upset that people are looking at this show and seeing how brilliantly evil you are and how your portrayal is just so dropped in and authentic that you decided that you were no longer going to be as connected to this character? Because it's not until this episode that I have felt the most disassociated from the performance that she was giving as Denita. And y'all know I don't like Denita, but I respect that Yolanda always gave Miss Denita all that she could. But this episode, it really wasn't it for me with that. Like, there's a moment where she's talking to her mom, or when her mom gets arrested, and she has these big doe eyes, which I guess is supposed to be shock, which, okay, cool. But she's like barely blinking, and she's like, Mom, tell him that this isn't true. And I'm like, Denita, girl, what? I don't know if it was just the line that wasn't believable, if Denita's reaction wasn't believable, or what. But like that, and then a couple of other moments, specifically when she interacts with her mother, I don't believe the acting. And it takes me out a little bit as I was watching. I'm like, maybe Yolanda's like, I got you to pull it back because the Saints is starting to forget that I am actually Queen Yolanda. And, couldn't be further from Denita, and now they starting to get a little confused. So let me go ahead and give a little bad acting when it comes to Denita in this finale. And I'm like, well, this is the worst moment to do it because Denita's storyline was so insignificant in this finale. But okay, so like those are like the three things for me that's like, not a perfect 10, but damn close, because the story was storying just as the rest of the episodes the seasons were. They have the I think the perfect amount of drama. I don't know. How do y'all feel about Rebel and Taj? I don't know if I've been like waiting for them for so long that the moment that they gave us for them finally getting together kind of felt a little tiny bit anticlimactic. I was like, this is how they go. They done had all these little will they, won't they, shoo-wop, doo-wop, doo-wop moments where you could just feel the passion and the love and the desire. Like, you could just feel it in the air. And then the moment that they finally get together, it's like, oh, they kicking it. They at Rebel House or whatever. I don't know. So those are awesome thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think about those thoughts while I read some of y'all's comments. Okay, Mimi, I got you. Oshibu says, okay, Mama Denita does it for me. She said 3 poor souls lost. How do you think David felt after killing the giant? I almost passed out. I said, listen here. If Mama Denita ain't giving the church folk that people criticize all the time, I don't know what is. Because they will figure out a way to tie everything to the good book and to try to excuse away their misdeeds. And it's like, ma'am, God ain't say nothing about you having people on the live for what? To protect what? And I don't even know, like, Mama Denita having Raven killed or killing Raven, I still want to know details. Like, I feel like I still need to know details. And Denita might not have done it, but she was there that night. And honestly, she is fruit from the rotten ass tree. So I'm still holding Denita's feet to the fire with her damn mama. I honestly, one of the predictions that I was making prior to was that Denita was going to get arrested. So I was just waiting for them to slap the cuffs on her ass as well at the wedding. Because she might not have done the actual deed, but she was there and she knows more than she lets on. And that's the, like, it's okay. So that's another thing. I would probably say that's the fourth thing that kind of detracts, because a lot they give us to figure it out with our imagination and everything, but some things they need to make a little bit more concretely clear. Because Denita also called the police chief. So now that we find out that the mama has a relationship with the police chief, I need to understand how much of the conversations that Denita were having with the police chief does the mama know? How much of the conversations that the mama was having with the police chief does Denita know, before I can absolve her from what is being painted to be a conspiracy of the 3 or 4 of them? You know? But that could be just me. Money Green Tay says bring back the rewatch together. Okay, we can do that. I gotta get Naya and Melissa to watch it for the first time. So we probably gonna make that happen really, really soon, because Naya's going on Christmas break and so is Melissa. The Taj and Rebel scene was too short at the end. Right? I'm like, y'all giving me this little Denita singing, but I don't give a damn. At the end, I literally paused it to see how many more minutes we had in the episode, and it said like 8, right? And I'm like, all right, well, 5 of these is credits, so I got like 3 minutes left, and y'all ain't put Rebel and Taj back on my damn screen. I don't care about none of this that y'all talking about right now. So I low-key probably need to go back and rewatch the end, because I was so frustrated. Like, where is Rebel and Taj? Their scene was entirely too short. And I guess that's what it is, because their scenes have been just so laced in like romance and longing. I kind of hope at the moment that they finally gave in to what they both had been desiring, it would have been steeped in that as well. But it kind of just felt like, oh yeah, we like each other. Cool. Money Green Tay says, I was shocked when I knew the baby wasn't his. I was hurt for him. Listen, I cannot wait for Kofi to watch this on a replay. I cannot wait. Because he's a great person, optimistic person, and would never want to say anything wayward to a woman or about a woman. But y'all know I have clocked it, and I have said that. I have prayed on that not being Taj's baby from the jump. Now, Chandra, let me tell you something. You are Taj, and Taj is you. Because every little detail in that performance, in the reaction, in the hurt, in the pain, I felt that. You put that into that character. You was doing your job. You was doing a good job. But I knew it wasn't his baby. And guess what? Sometimes we get our little hearts broken, but we'll be all right. It'll heal. I will take Taj crying and worrying about falling in love with this kid that's not actually his over it actually being his, and all the pain and suffering that comes from marrying and then having to co-parent after the divorce with a woman that you don't deserve, you don't belong with, and should not be with you. I'm not going to say deserve, because that could be a bit tricky. Y'all are just not aligned. Y'all were never going to work, but you know what did work? I feel like I have like ADHD right now, because I'm all over the place with my thoughts. So y'all just going to have to roll with me. I'm so sorry. Y'all know what worked? Taj in that damn black suit in that white tuxedo jacket. Did y'all see the man looking how he was looking? I said, well, damn. I don't want this wedding to happen, but I also don't want the fit to go to waste, because my God, Taj, who told that man to look that good? Can somebody tell me who told that man to look that good? I'm just curious. Who told this man to look that good on a wedding day that he was never supposed to have? Like, now how are you going to do better for your wedding with Rebel? I mean, you know what? I should not doubt you, so I'm going to go ahead and let you do it. But this was a wasted ass outfit. You look damn good, sir. Damn good. Okay, I'm literally all over the place. Y'all really gonna have to rein me in a row, like row with me. Aaliyah says we definitely need a flashback scene with Raven. We have to have it. I still have so many questions. So many questions. Hey Pathwin, welcome in. You gave it 100. Taj and Rebel Man, oh man. Candy Love says, I knew it wasn't my cousin's baby. I knew too. We knew together. Whether we knew or we were just praying and our God listens to prayers. Either way, the result is the result. Kimberly Felder says we definitely need some clarity. Yes. Aaliyah says, I feel like Mama knows Denita's conversation, but Denita doesn't know hers. I could see that. I could totally see that. But y'all know Denita is in the stick for me. And now Elijah is ruining it because I'm like holding a grudge against Denita for not taking into consideration Elijah's feelings. And Elijah is a scam artist. So now I'm trying to figure out how I stand on business, because whether he a scam artist or not, you were still moving real funny style. And you get to the end of this episode, or the top of this episode, you get to the end of this season, you want to be calling on the Lord again. Was I the only one watching the first 4 minutes of this? Like, Denita girl, we don't care. I don't care about you praying to God no more. I don't care about you asking God for guidance, because every time you ask God, you don't listen to what he say. You literally be like, but that's not what I want you to say, so I'm gonna do this. So now I can't respect you. Now I can't rock with you. And like, okay girl, you got your little voice back, but I'm like mad, not at God, because you know, we gotta watch our step. But I'm low-key mad because why she get her voice back and her ass still is not telling all of the damn truth. She has not atoned or been held accountable for all her goofiness. So Lord, I ain't trying to question you, but I got a question. Why didn't Denita get her voice back? Why is she singing better than ever? Why in the hell are you answering this prayer of hers when she's prayed the same prayer 6 times already and you have delivered an answer that she didn't want to listen to? And I'm not even convinced that she's listening now. Yeah, she told Caesar about his son. Yeah, she's allowing Caesar to meet the son without dropping the lawsuit. But what about all the other stuff? And watching her confess to Deacon, I'm like, girl, you do this on a regular basis. He's the one who keeps all your damn secrets. So this is nothing new. If you're not getting your ass up on that damn pulpit or in front of some camera and saying, you know what, I'm a sinner, and then laying everything bare, I don't believe you. I don't trust you. But Elijah got me in a very tricky place because I'm standing on business and he's one of the biggest parts of my business and his ass is a fraud. Now Kingdom Business got me stressed. Mimi Love, she said, I'm trying to find the song I was playing with Taj and Rebel Kiss. It's a bop. I have to go back and listen to it, but I was listening to their soundtrack yesterday. Their soundtrack is on Spotify, the whole thing. And there was a couple songs that I didn't recognize, so I was like, oh, these must be the songs from the finale. So it might be on there. Chandra was dropped in. Mimi Loves Peace. He's been dropped in all season. I feel like I need to create a video specifically just about the nuances of his acting within Taj, because I think that Taj is already a likable character just in the circumstances that he's presented, but the way that this actor breathes life into him, it just enhances it tenfold. Like, tenfold. Oh, Kofi's in here. Hey, boo. Alethea, hey boo, welcome in. Says, I agree. I was trying to figure out why they killed Rebel. What did she do to them? I knew the baby wasn't his as well. I know that's right. Shout out to everybody in the community that knew the damn baby was not his. Because Essence, you might be a nice girl or whatever, great singer, but you also was trolloping, and that's fine. That's fine. Nobody is faulting you for trolloping, boo. But like, let's be for real. You was trolloping. That's not his baby. Now, he had made a misstep because he was, you know, allowing his loins to guide him because Rebel got him all stirred up in the nether regions. But, you know, this go round, you was already doing what you was doing because you had complained that he wasn't, you know, providing anything to you from his nether regions. So it just seems very, very, very coincidental, honey, that the one time The one time, and yes, it only takes one time, but y'all go with me. The one time that he gives in to his eternal sin, you pop up pregnant when you've been complaining about not getting none this whole time. Girl. Elijah at the end, OMFG, child. Now I gotta be on Elijah's goofy ass head with that southern ass accent. I gotta find the actor because he's doing a really great job too. I'm like, so now the accent gone. So now they believe you. It's one thing. I mean, you know what? I be out myself when I be on here talking about these damn shows, and that's fine. It is one thing to scam Denita Jordan, because some of this is her karma come uppeth. But I be damned if you scam Caesar and play on that man's hopes and dreams for one of the things that he has wanted for his life and has not been able to achieve or attain. Because him sitting his ass at the top of the Kingdom Records throne is nowhere near as important, as impactful to him as being a fucking father. And now you're going to play in his face for why? For what, Elijah? If that's even your real name. So we got questions and we need answers, y'all. We just need answers. Kobe says Taj is the right thing. Now it'd be interesting to see Calvin running for mayor. I said Calvin. Calvin, read the room, okay? Read the room and relax, okay? You are making it out of hell barely by your skivvies. The skin off your chinny chin chin is how you making it out of hell. And now you want to jump into politics? I guess, sir. I suppose. Who does Elijah work for? Ooh. That is the question. Christina says I was done when Elijah's accent left. Basically, wait a minute, did CJ and Taj meet their brother? I thought that's what was supposed to happen at the end of episode 7. Am I mistaken? That's a big part for me. Like I feel like they didn't address that in this episode, and I didn't like that. That's why I can't give it a 10. That's why I'm giving it a 9.7. Kofi, what you giving the episode rating? We all did a rating, and I have not seen any number different than a 10 except for mine. So let me know yours. If you're just coming in, drop your rating for the episode on a scale of 1 to 10. Money Green Tay says the way the Essence live on live almost broke my TV. Almost broke my TV. I said this heifer. But then even that, like, so they gave us a couple moments that they didn't actually pay off. And they do that sometimes. Like, they'll give us something and then they'll pay it off a couple episodes later. But unfortunately, this is the finale. So we don't have no episodes later unless it's next season. And we got to wait a year for that to pay it off. So, like, why show us Essence lying if you're not going to show, like, what happens with that? How does that make Taj feel? Does Rebel see this and that give her the green light? I guess that also plays into the anticlimactic union of Trouble. Is that that's the couple name? Trouble? I kind of like that. Of Taj and Rebel, because it just kind of happens and we don't get any of the setup that we have been getting this entire time. But she got her ass on that damn live and boldface lied. And I'm like, is Taj the type of man that's going to run her whole facts? Because this could be quickly disproven. And you are now full on bump, honey. So now people can tell that your ass is pregnant. So all he got to tweet, he only got to get on live. All he got to tweet is say, this is not my baby. Face crack all over the interwebs. Essence has to control the narrative. She has to try, honey. She has to try to control it because it is already running amok. Joshua says, I knew Elijah was a fraud. I did not see that coming. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I was like so excited and it felt fresh and new, and that should have been the first that should have been the first sign, because this is a drama, Erica. What was you expecting, honey? I should have known that there was something fishy about Elijah. He came in too pure, too graceful, too wholesome in this den of thieves. No, I'm being dramatic. But I didn't get it. I didn't think it at all. Did anybody else? Anybody else smell something afoot when not Joshua, when Elijah stepped on the scene? Denita should have gotten a DNA test. See, and I think what's so tricky about it is like Denita is the known liar. So when she's presented with another liar, it's hard to understand or to just go to like, oh, the other person is the liar in this circumstance. Because Denita is always the liar. You know? Mimi Loves Pieces. I'm trying to understand why Calvin is running for mayor. Like there are bigger players we haven't seen yet. I agree with that. How did Taj not know how far along Essence was? I think that he didn't pay attention when he first got the sonogram from her. So like he has been carrying around the original one that she gave him, which had the date cut off. He knows how far along she is, but the T was the very first sonogram told how long ago the baby was conceived, but they had had sex more recently than that. So she was already pregnant when they had sex. Does that make sense? And she a little itty bitty thing, so it just, in reference to visuals, without him getting that piece of context at the moment that he found out with that first sonogram, it makes sense for him to not fully understand that this is not his baby until he sees the numbers and he like, wait a minute. Oh, the actor who plays Elijah played in the Wu-Tang show? I still have to watch that. Xavier is probably the father. That's why Essence was trying to get him and Rebel together. That would make sense. It'd be a trifling mess, but it would make sense. Oh yeah, Kofi, I am gonna open a Discord. Hold on one second. I believe Essence will be a problem next season. I'm trying to figure out how involved she'll be next season because she don't have nothing to hold over Taj, which is a great thing. Revenge will be the theme for next season. Well, we know Denita's gonna seek revenge, try to get her kingdom back. But I'm like, girl, you better be glad that your ass is not in the jail cell next to your mama. So bide your time, get your ass in the studio. At the end of the day, it seems like Caesar is to you what Taj is to Rebel. So while you might want to be the queen on the throne at this record label, him coming to own is going to do you right. You're going to have a bomb hit album. So shut up. Just shut up, Denita. Shut up and bide your time because, girl, you have already done more than enough. More than enough that you still need to atone for. You're getting off scot-damn free. Okay? So I'm already, season 3, I'm already on Denita's head. Like, I don't give a damn what revenge you got. But she's coming for revenge. I got that. Elijah's going to do whatever the hell he's going to do. But we really need to know the other factors because it seems really weird for some random guy to pop out and run this particular scam on them. But also, he has to know something to know that this is a soft spot to press on, right? So, of course, Denita's going to have revenge for Rebel because it's going to be interesting watching them be label mates. I didn't realize this until one of y'all pointed this out a few lives ago, but Denita is the only artist on that actual record label. So I guess Rebel will be the next artist. Well, then everybody from Redeeming might fold over. And Denita got to deal with that. Denita's gonna have an issue with Rebel having her mama put away, but your mama killed her mama. So like, again, Denita, you better relax. Who else? Who else is running with revenge? I feel like Calvin is trying to have an altruistic reason for running for mayor, but part of me feels like he's being bit by the power bug again. Like, he might have gotten out of the whole manipulation within the kingdom and want to do right by God, but there's still something about him that needs the power. That's how he was able to walk away from the woman that he loved to be bishop and marry Denita. Like, he literally chose power over real purpose and happiness and love. So that's in him. That's something that he did very young, 35 years ago. that could be something that could be creeping back up. And while he is in a better place morally, where he feels like he's operating from a better place, making more decisions that's in line with God, it could still be an ego thing for him with power. And that could be why he's doing the whole mayor thing. I don't know. Let me open this Discord so that y'all can sound off as well. How did it do that? I do not know. That is very weird. Okay, the normal live calling channel is open in the Discord. So Kobe, open up the Discord and come to the, or whoever, if you want to join, come into the Discord and go into the Erica Vane TV live calling channel, voice channel. Wow. That happens. Mimi Loves Peace says, I believe Essence will be a problem next season. Money Green say, how did you know that Elijah was a fraud? How did y'all peep it? Because y'all gotta school me. Cindy says Essence is a trifling mess. Trifling. I got worried. Like, I got so worried when he was breaking it off with her. I was like, I don't know how crazy this girl is. Is she going to try to harm herself? What is going on? So I was kind of relieved that she just got on live and lied. Because I was like, I don't know. She becomes very dramatic. She makes very impulsive decisions. I was like, Lord, who knows what the hell she's going to have going on. Oh, it's locked. Okay, hold on. Let me unlock this. My bad, y'all. Permissions. Okay, cool. You should be able to come in. Money Green Tay as well.
There it is.
Let me put my headphones on. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Kofi? Money Green Tay? Can y'all hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yes. Hey, y'all. I can't hear Money Green Tay, but I can hear Kofi, I think. How y'all
Good
doing?
to go. I'm straight.
Okay, you gave the episode a 10. How else you feeling? Not the Kofi.
Yeah, it deserves a because this was a lot.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, I don't even know where to start.
My mind is all over the place. So I've been like all over the place in this chat. Y'all, where we start? Where we go back to? How would anyone know to run this kind of scam? with the not so deceased son. That's T. Let's start with Elijah. How you feel about Elijah now, Kofi?
Oh man, Elijah is a snake, man, and I really wanted him to see it. I mean, this this hurts my heart as a fellow African that this
Ugh.
guy's a scammer. So I ain't got nothing for him, bro. He can kick rocks.
Yeah, I didn't. A lot of people were saying that they thought that he was a fraud or you knew something was up. I didn't peep. No, I didn't expect or suspect anything when it came to Elijah. I feel a little bit hoodwinked. Okay, can you hear me? We might have lost him,
Yeah,
y'all.
I think there's a echo because I think that
An echo. Let me check.
yep.
I don't hear echo on the live.
Okay, I think it's fine. I think I was playing my other YouTube video. My fault.
You good?
Okay, but
You
yeah,
good?
man, Elijah was a snake, bro. Like I really wanted to believe this man was came in with good intentions, but he looks like a scam artist. But frankly, I think this is karma for Denita for all the dirt she's done. So now you got somebody who's about to pull dirt on you, and then maybe it'll put things in proper perspective. So that's what I
Which
feel
I
about it.
get if it didn't have nothing to do with Caesar. Like, I really would probably look the other way to scamming Elijah if it only involved Denita. But like now that Caesar is getting all emotional, like he had to take a step away and like breathe and process or whatever, before finishing the conversation with him. Like he's going to be devastated, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I feel bad on that aspect.
And then also with the whole Elijah storyline, correct me if I'm wrong, Kofi, but didn't Denita say something at the end of episode 7 about having him come and meet the kids after they had did their little pre-recording for Denita and Friends, and she had saw Taj and CJ sing? Didn't she call him and tell him that she wanted them to meet?
That's right. Yeah, she did
So
say that.
what the hell happened? Because I feel like we missed out on something. We don't get nothing in the finale where we actually get to see them and how they feel about Elijah, which I feel like is a huge missed opportunity for the finale.
I agree.
Hey Cindy, how are you, honey?
I am good, E.
So yeah, let me know y'all's thoughts around that. Anybody? Kofi, Cindy, Money Green Tay. I think you're muted, so you gotta unmute yourself. Um, when it comes to the Elijah storyline, how do you feel about us not getting anything in reference to CJ and Taj's reactions to him with just knowing about him? Is he Danita's karma? And how will Caesar be affected? Any of those things?
I don't feel like Caesar was ever really, he never really fully embraced him. I don't
Mm.
know. It just didn't. I saw in the comments earlier on YouTube that Taj may be Caesar's son. You know, Taj and Caesar, I like their synergy.
I love it so
I
much.
like that mentor mentee, uncle, nephew, father, son type dynamic. I love to see it. I love to see it.
Yeah, and there's a
So,
moment in the episode where I can't remember word for word now. I'm gonna have to rewatch this episode so I have it down pat. But there's a moment where Todd, oh, I think it was when he's like trying to write his vows, and he's like, I'm doing what you taught me," and I'm like, "What he taught you? Come on, daddy vibes."
but nobody was feeling Taj in essence. I mean, the mama, the quote unquote dad, Caesar, the sister,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was looking sideways. Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm just so glad he saw how many weeks it was on top of that sonogram, whatever. I'm just so glad it just all came together.
Listen,
I love
I was confuddled for a while of like, Taj, you gonna give this girl a blown up version of the sonogram? She don't care. She's not rebel. She's not gonna care about this. So I was kind of low key mad that this was becoming a big thing. So I love that they used this as a specific plot point to bring this home, because I'm like, girl, this girl do not care about this blow up, and you're trying to make it seem like this blow up is gonna be the thing that does it and lets her know exactly how you feel. But that's the thing that like sets y'all back on the right path of honesty and truth. So I love it. I thought that was such a brilliant choice for them creatively.
But what I'm not loving is Malcolm and CJ or whatever they got. Whatever. I mean, that whatever. It's not. I don't see the progression through the seasons. Like, it just seems like it's just. I'm not saying the marriage life is perfect. I'm not saying that, but I don't know if they're gonna make it. I don't know if they're
Can
gonna
I
make it.
comment on this?
Yeah, jump in.
You know what? Look, I know Malcolm did some shady stuff, but I low key feel bad because Denita and them did this brother dirty. Like the amount of times that this man had to give up some of the things that was pressuring to him, like his songs and stuff. I can understand why he felt the need to, at least at this one instant, be selfish and try and snake them out of it because they did it to him so many times. And it was wrong, but it's not like this is probably one wrong thing that he's done compared to what the other family members have done, with the exception of CJ and Taj. Okay, because Calvin was, well, we already know what Calvin did. We ain't got to get into all that. And then Denita is Denita. So I don't know why CJ is still really holding on to this. I mean, look, life's too short. That's your husband, okay? This man has been there with you through all this thick and thin. Did he do something bad? Yeah. Did he screw up? Yeah. But hey, man, black men ain't perfect, but we trying out here, okay? So I just think they need to work it out and try and work this out. That's just what I think, man.
I don't
Because
know. I wonder if
Let me jump in real quick. I understand, Kofi. I understand. And for me, like, I was really hoping that they could work it out. I'm not really too much caught up on what he did to deceive or to betray Denita and the family. I'm kind of caught up on the signs I'm getting about his heart posture. And for me, I'm being reminded just by seeing the little nuances of how he moves that he was never the guy that we thought that he was. Because I personally struggled with him giving CJ attitude back. Like, I get that we want CJ to just forgive him and move on. But like, if you really do want your wife, you want this family, you understand that you were wrong in this way. One, you are not Denita. You are not Calvin. You were supposed to be better than them. So it's one thing to be within a world of all this deceit or whatever. Your standards don't lower just because you happen to be surrounded by scum. You get what I'm saying? So he made a mistake. He should be forgiven for it. Cool. But what's the attitude about? If you're really sorry, if it's really something that's not going to happen again, if it was really something that you just needed to do because you're tired of being a doormat and you just had to get your get back, then get your get back and then take the consequences because it meant that much to you. Like, I would appreciate if you had the conviction of like, I did it. It might have been wrong, but they did me wrong, and I felt like I have not been able to get retribution for myself this entire time. Now it won't happen again, and I'm still going to be your loving husband. I'm going to move like that. But like, it takes the littlest thing for CJ for him to revert back to what I feel like is giving a little bit too sassy, attitudinal man energy. And I can't trust that. I personally don't trust men like that. Like, men who go to a real catty, weird place, I'm just like, I'm good on you because you're kind of capable of anything. And I have yet to see Malcolm get back to a place like we met him where he seemed to be so doting and secure in who he was. Now he just seems very insecure. Again, has too much attitude, like he didn't do anything wrong, but you notice you did. And I don't think that we can necessarily, like I said, I don't think we can necessarily lower the standards for people who are supposed to be moral people just because they're running around with immoral people, if that makes sense.
I really wonder if they're going to introduce a wrinkle or somebody else for CJ. I really wonder because they
Mm.
come across as two people who are growing apart. Kind
Mm.
of like the cliche, you're either going to grow together or grow apart. And like by this being the conclusion of season two, before season three, I'm thinking there's going to be a season three. I just don't know about those two. Like I really wonder if if they are like showing us these cracks right, in the
Mm.
foundation. And I really wonder if they're going to introduce an interest for CJ at some point, because they just, I don't know, something just doesn't, you know what I mean?
That's
Even
gonna
through
be
all the
unfortunate because
foolishness.
it feels like if they do, they're gonna be still together on paper or even living in the same house when they do. I don't know. He
Hmm.
needed to, for me, he
Yeah,
needs to
yeah.
decide if he really wants this relationship because I didn't feel it. Like his response to CJ being like, "Well, weren't you supposed to go get Taj?" was immediate attitude back, and that just didn't feel like a man who wanted his family. It felt
I
like a
don't
man that's
know.
going to go tit for tat.
I just think I think he's annoyed at the situation. Granted, it's his fault, but I'm like, he feels like, damn, man. I mean, I don't know if he's apologized yet, but it's just, I'm gonna chalk it up that this is manly pride that's preventing him from saying what he needs to say. Because
And that
I
gets you
don't
in
know.
trouble every damn time. And what you're
Well,
alluding to, what you haven't said, so I'm gonna be clear, you haven't said it, but what you're alluding to was like he apologized, and you said before that men are trying. It's like, okay, cool, but you also don't have control over what people's forgiveness process looks like. If you're moving with true conviction and you want to move through something, then you also give people grace and space to process it however they will. Like once you apologize, once you said that this is not going to happen again, all you can do from there is show the person, and you're not showing the person by leaning into your ego.
And then with
yeah. So
Malcolm, he can't, he doesn't need to put his musical dreams in Danita's hands or Kingdom Records hands. Like he needs to see his goals and his dreams beyond. He already got her number. He already knows she's controlling, manipulative, XYZ. So, brother man, like take your talents. I mean, hey, Caesar got Redeeming Records or whoever, I mean, whoever, but
Hello.
don't feel like Danita is like the be all to end all to your musical aspirations and dreams, my brother. You know
And
what
it
I
makes me
mean?
wonder why
Like,
he hasn't done that to be like from earlier on. Like you and CJ have been together, we don't know how long, but clearly y'all have been established within this relationship. You know how her family gets down. It only took Sasha one hell no and to try to snake a contract under Denita while she was still recovering from
and
amnesia and some wings to take her ass over to Redeemer. So what was stopping you?
And Taj, I mean, Taj is there, you know what I mean? And he's Danita's like son. So I'm like, brother man, take ownership. Don't feel like you gotta be
Yeah.
boxed in by your wife's mom, because everybody knows how she is. So I mean, be an eagle and soar. Don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I
because
think
the
that's
lines get too blurred.
And I think that's also probably why I'm a little bit disappointed in Malcolm, because as a man, specifically in a marriage, and it seems like, I'm not trying to put this on her, but it seems like CJ wants a leader, like a lot of us women do. The way he moves sometimes, it feels like he allows himself to become the victim more than he needs to, which I think is what you're alluding to,
Exactly.
Cindy. And he
Exactly.
could, like, you have been writing songs that Denita ass is stealing, so you know that you're good as a
Okay.
songwriter. You know that you know that you have certain talents. So like, even if you didn't go to redeem it, why haven't we seen you cooking in the back with a YouTube channel, because you already making money as a nurse and you're good there? Like, why haven't we seen you trying to make this thing shake because you just care about your talent so much? And you can have the resentment brewing for your wife's family because they have everything that you're trying to get, but won't just hand it to you because for whatever reason, but you're still doing certain things. Like that to me shows me that you're a leader. That shows me that you have conviction.
Hmm.
That shows me like, okay, we rocking with something, but you kicking up attitudes, rolling your eyes, and your family and it's like, yes, they have done you wrong, but what the hell else are you gonna do? Because they don't run your life. You're seeing them run my
Okay.
life, but you are related to them by me. Like you literally can see from the outside looking in and could do whatever the hell you want to, and you're choosing not to, and then judging me while I try to navigate that. It's not giving my leader, my king energy. It's just not.
And I hate to see, I still hate to this day, 2023, about to be 2024. I hate to see Black artists even still going through that stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, I'm not trying to keep watching the episode of Unsung to see how they did our people wrong back
Mm-hmm.
in the 50s and the 60s when they didn't really have knowledge of the business. All of us now should be aware enough to know that be about your business, be careful about your contracts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
write your, publish, I mean, protect your trademark, whatever. Like, why are we still even seeing these type of stories still play out with our people when they have been like dishonoring us and like not compensating us for decades? Like
Child.
for real. Come on now, y'all. We got to be about our. You got talents and gifts and stuff. Don't let nobody do you like that. You know?
Period.
Okay.
Mm, well, maybe
What were you saying, Kofi?
I'll let him go. I'll wait.
No, go ahead, you. Kofi. Okay. Well, jump in once you hear it because I think it's like a little delay on your end as well.
Oh,
Um,
my fault.
no, go ahead. We were trying to like give you time to say what you wanted to add.
Oh no, I just wanted the other man to finish his point. I was being respectful. All right. Uh. Honestly, I don't know where this is gonna go. Maybe if they did introduce somebody else, maybe it would force him to do better. And look,
Mm.
uh, I mean, hey, at least one brother decided to get his mind right and get his woman. So I'm all fine right here, boy. I mean,
Not
can we
you
talk about it?
basking in Tosh
Can we
finally
talk
bringing
about?
his ass.
Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Can we
Yes, we
talk
could talk
about it?
about it. This is one of my favorite parts of the episode when he came to her place. Yes.
That
I don't know. They
that
should have
man
gave out.
looks.
They should have gave out a couple a little bit more, but I'm gonna take it. I ain't gonna be beggars can't be choosy.
The
I suppose.
the way he rolled up, he's like that man looked like he'd been through some shit, and then all he had to do was take one look at her. It's like that offer's still on the table for us to get away, and it's like he was like, you know what time it is? I ain't with Essence no more. You ain't with producer guy no more. What's good? Let's talk. I was, I mean, beautiful,
Kofi is
beautiful.
excited. I love it.
But who do
I
y'all think that Rebel was talking to on the phone when she was like, "Yes, I'm emotionally invested, and I hope this doesn't go through"? You think it was the detective that she was talking to on the phone before they crashed the wedding?
I'm guessing, like
Okay.
hindsight, make me feel like she was talking to her because the detective's like, you don't have to be there when we do this.
Oh yeah,
And then
yeah.
that would make that make sense of like, yes, I do have to be there. I'm invested. Whatever,
Yes, she
whatever.
is.
Um, I mean, y'all, we did get Taj and Rebel by the end of the episode, so we definitely gonna get them as a
Yes.
couple next season. So glory to that. But again, I just feel like they could have given us more. Like we got
what more
little
did you want?
scraps. What more did I want? Kofi, we've been
Yeah.
watching them sing doo-wops to each other this whole season. You could cut the romantic tension with a fucking knife.
Yeah, you could.
And then
What
we
you?
get to the end and they finally get together and they give us a 1 minute 30-second scene. Like when she shows up and he looks at her at the wedding, I'm like, they could have gave us more there. Like, all right, arrest everybody, whatever, whatever. But what's Taj thinking? Like, is he moving through the crowd? Rebel, do you see this man looking at you? Like, they gave us so much more before, just in like how they were looking and what you could imagine were their internal thoughts. And this one, I feel like they gave us the very bare minimum because they like, look, we're gonna give y'all them as a couple, but we ain't gonna do too much. And I'm like, but this is the time for y'all to do too much because you had him shoe bopping, do bopping at the damn restaurant, giving Rebel's fucking proposal to Essence. So give me something.
Beggars
Damn
can't
it.
be choosers. You got what you wanted, didn't you? Like,
But I
damn.
want Rebel to have all of the like songs and whatnot. Kofi, she gotta have it
Could happen in
all.
could happen in season 3. I mean, if it's a season 3, then that shit could happen. I mean, let's be patient. Now, is there going to be storms in their lives? Because I don't think Essence is just going to give up on that real easily.
Well,
Like, I
she
know she
needs
doesn't have a
to.
leg to. Well, I don't think so. I mean, when once a woman has a good man and like feels like you don't want to give him up, you do crazy stuff. Like I feel like she's finna go crazy. Like
Okay,
she's
well,
not gonna
Rebel
let Taj
fights.
go.
And once you drop this baby, she
Okay.
owes you an ass whooping. She already told you that.
Well, 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 like I'm just saying, man, it could be all happy vibes right now, but I don't think that's gonna be It's not gonna be smooth sailing. Let me just put it to you that way.
I love the
I'm
way
at,
the writing like laid a proper foundation for Taj and Rebel. Like they
Mm.
just genuinely, like even through all the storms and trials, like they just genuinely cared about one another as people, as artists. I love that. Just to, because the foundation is just so important in relationships, like any
Mm-hmm.
type of relationship. And so I love the way that the writers just really like throughout 2 seasons just weave that tapestry. I love to see it
Yeah,
because it's like a more mature,
it
built to
does.
last type of connection. You know,
I
I love to see
agree
that.
100%. And like to that point, Kofi, I guess I'm also responding to your thought of like Essence not letting it go, being that like it really don't matter who got a problem with it. It don't matter what Denita got next season. It don't matter what Essence talking about next season. Rebel said everything that she needed was right here, and she meant that. Like, I feel like they can go through anything because of where they have come from, like how they have been established, the foundation that has been built. It really does not matter what anybody got to say next season. And I cannot wait to see it. Like, I cannot wait. Like, not that I'm rooting for people to try to tear them down, but like I cannot wait to see y'all try and fail. That's where I'm at with it. That's how I feel. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. So let's see. We covered Malcolm. Talked about Taj. Caesar got a win. Happy for him. Now
Did he
it'll be
though?
interesting to. I mean, yeah, he
I don't
got
know. I don't
Kingdom
know
for
how I
now.
feel about that. How y'all feel about Caesar's getting awarded the record label?
I mean, that's what he wanted. I mean, he wanted
He
acknowledgement.
wanted his
So if you can't
money.
get wanted his money, but if you can't get your money, the next best thing is to take the thing that should have been rightfully yours in the first place. So
I think he still, I think he still wants Denita.
that's what I,
Why?
brother,
God.
you
To
gotta let.
me,
You know what?
Mimi loves peace.
All right.
Come
You
on
know what?
in, honey. Just come into the. I'm gonna move you in here. You said you want to add a comment. Um,
You know what? I'm
you could
gonna,
just
I'm
jump
gonna,
in.
I'm gonna put him be in the mind of Caesar. Okay. How
Lord.
old is this man? How old is he? He's in his mid 50s, right?
think
Yeah.
Roughly.
so.
Okay, think about this. You're in your mid 50s. You done everything you can in life. You got this bomb record label. You done made a lot of money. You done been a player in the music business, but you still feel empty. And I don't know what it is, but I still think he just hasn't been able to get over the fact that Anita left him and he never got to marry this girl. It's something that is in
But
his
she's
heart
the
that is.
devil. Have we not
She
heard
may
about
be.
God sparing rejection is redirection? She is literally demonic. What do we want from this lady?
Because I guess it just doesn't seem like okay because he has a lawyer. Okay, he had. I mean, of course, Tamar Braxton's character, she's something serious, whatever, whatever. But like, it just doesn't seem like there's any other woman that he's connecting or vibing with. I
The
just really
lawyer.
think that he's. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's really. I don't know. I don't really
I mean,
sense any
I
type of
get it.
chemistry with
I
those
have
two.
thought that for a
Unless the lawyer
while.
was kicking him in, unless the lawyer was kicking him some vibes, I don't see it. I mean,
I
that's
mean, I've
my
thought
thing.
that. I've thought about season Danita possibly making it, but this season ruined it for me. Like, her devious ways has gone to a whole new level that I don't even understand. Like, he said it 3 episodes ago, like, this, you are not the woman I fell in love with, because she's not. Like, I feel like you are
Yeah,
just relegating yourself to more pain if what you want out of this is this woman. And I think I have concerns with him assuming the label because the label feels kind of cursed. Like, sell that hoe and leave it because Redeeming has had better energy this entire time. The only time that Kingdom Records has felt like a real record label doing something is when they had friends come in to sing and maybe Taj, but Taj is over at Redeeming now. Like, y'all give like toxic music energy and Redeeming doesn't give that. Redeeming gives collaborative artist camp. So I'm like, is it really a win for Caesar to win Kingdom Records because you have this name on paper and what it kind of represents? But we all know behind the scenes is built off of this devious ass woman who is, I could see her totally trying to, well, she's also vain, so maybe she's not going to try to self-sabotage her next records because she don't want to be perceived a certain way. But like, I would just much rather him been awarded money and then keep redeeming, because him being folded into Kingdom business and then the drama that comes with it, like they're bored, like all of the stuff that has been ingrained because of the mama and Denita, it's just like it feels like it's going to be too much.
Mm,
Can
it's a
y'all hear
fair
me?
point.
Yes, we can hear you, Mimi.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
So I have thoughts on that. Like, just my theory for next season. I think that Caesar is going to move on, but then as he's around Danita more, like, he's going to break her down. Because, like, Caesar's is going to be Caesar. And I think that's going to be a dilemma. And there's a potential closest that can come if they find out Elijah is actually not their son.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna put a dilemma with his budding relationship with Vi. That's what I'm thinking of.
Mm. Hmm. I mean, that does lay the groundwork for good story, and I'm always here for good story.
Yeah. And I didn't get the opportunity to add to the conversation about Tosh and Rebel.
Oh, go ahead.
But um first of all, I was elated. I put that my heart was so full because I've been waiting on that. I agree it was a little too short. But we also had the thing that happened earlier in the episode where he didn't want her to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was I'm gonna let you, like she was like releasing him, like I'm gonna let you go. And I'm, like I understand her trying to leave town to kind of heal and get over the fact that, she had feelings, she fell for this guy and they're unrequited in a sense, but
Yeah.
they really weren't.
Okay. Cause
And
that's your man.
so, yes. And then I know we talked about Chandra because he was just amazing, but I want to shout out Sophia because when they were close like that, and you could kind of see like she was like, "Is this really happening?" Like because it
Mm-hmm.
has been so much start stop with them.
Yeah.
Um, so I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, she did do that. Listen,
Yeah,
so many of them are dropped in. The only person who I felt like was not dropped in this episode was Yolanda. But you were
yeah,
so right about Soraya in that moment. I was just like, oh. Which I guess also led into like why I wanted more of it because they were just so present. They were just so there.
yeah. I agree. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's finally happening!" Because I was like, "Tilt your head some more, tilt your head some more time so she can know it's okay."
Literally, you could see her like measuring and like, yeah, yeah, 100%. I agree.
So yeah,
Anybody else want to
like it's
chime in
gonna
on that?
be calamity next season. If I'm praying there's a next season, but it's gonna be calamity with um Caesar and Denita in the same environment.
Yeah, and there's going to be tension. I don't think that torch that he still has for her is not finna go away. That man's been carrying that
It
shit for
needs
over 30
to.
years.
Do I need to come
Well, I'm
down there
telling.
with some water? Cause shit, now.
Look, man. Look. This look. Let me put y'all on game. All right. This a
Mm,
man, right? This Kofi speaking. All right. When
okay.
you got something, when you got something that's been submitted into your soul for many many years, it's hard to let that shit go. It's hard to let that
Even
shit
if
go.
they
He
the
should let it
devil,
go. Yeah, well, Jesus loved his enemies, didn't he? So, like, maybe he still thinks there's hope for her. I don't know. You can't
maybe.
look.
I'm
It's
listen.
irrational.
That's real.
It's
That's real.
irrational.
I
It's
know.
irrational, but it's love, man. You can't help it. Like when you know you've been there when you're supposed to not have anything to do with a person that's caused you so much pain, but then you feel like you can't let that shit go because they were your everything. So
Yeah.
I don't think that Caesar's gonna let it go, man. And
I
now that he's
think that
managing her, it's gonna make things even more intense. That's
Well,
just my
I'm gonna
prediction
need the
about it.
Lord to kick in the high ass gear because Danita needs to be reined in. She don't get to run amok all over season next season. I tell you that she don't get to do it.
I think I think her and Calvin are done.
Oh, for
I,
sure.
I think I think they're done, and I think that doneness will open up space for probably what needs to be. Her and Calvin just seem to be over with before they even started anyway. You know what I mean? Because back in the
Hello.
day, he was, Rolling Stone player, and and they just kind of just got together just for image or for whatever, But her and Calvin definitely seem to be done.
Yes.
I mean, definitely seem to be done. So, hey,
I
we'll
agree with
see.
that. I agree.
Yeah. Surprised at everybody. I really thought that Xavier and the crew was gonna really kill Rebel and the police officer, but was
Wait,
he working with
Xavier?
the police? Or no, not Xavier. Oh, the
Dex?
guy with the Dex.
Dex,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Was he? Was
I
De-
think so.
Yes. Which
Was
I'm
he
so
working with?
proud of him. Like, yes, I told y'all last live. I said the moment that the police chief show you that he is willing to pull the last card that he's dangling over your head, that means he's going to forever pull that. You got to get it from up under his thumb. How you do that? You switch sides. Listen, this is what he got on me. You gonna need to make that disappear. If something got to shake, I need to be free. Love that for you, Dex. Love it for you.
So that episode before the finale, when he told Rebel to get in their card, was that all part of the plan, just
I
to
think
make it
so.
as if like, oh, okay.
I think so.
Yeah,
I felt like that too. I felt like he was on Rebel's side when he told her to get in the car. They just
Mhm.
kind of used it as a cliffhanger for that episode, but I felt like he was on her side when he was like that.
Yeah. Because if he wasn't, he would have kidnapped her another way. And then also, like, the police chief is so damn dumb. Like, why do you need a video feed and you all like tapped in, your camera is on, they can't see you, but then you got Dex being clearly recognizable and you're not willing to kill Rebel as well. Like, sir, you need to go to jail just for your damn dumbness. And I don't know how you were able to be a part of her mama dying and then not being found out prior to now, but everything about that, I was just like, wow, Dex, you have no mask on. So much of it made me feel like this cannot be real because you're committing literal felonies right now, and we're recording it. We're like what is happening? Did anybody else watch that scene and be like, what is happening?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was. And then when the police and the feds rolled up at the wedding, I was like, damn. Oh shit, it's finna go down. And not only did the people higher up get arrested, Danita's mom got arrested. I'm like, damn.
Did y'all
And
peep that something was up with the wedding, but by how Calvin was moving in the metal detectors?
yeah, it's
Well,
almost as if Calvin.
go
Oh,
ahead,
go ahead.
Kofi. Well, I
I
knew
was just
something
saying,
was up when he just kept inviting everybody. I'm like, Calvin is something. I'm like, he's up to, I don't know what, but he's up to something.
Calvin might have known beforehand and was just playing coy because the way he
Well, he was
came to
in
that
on
press
it.
conference. That's what I'm saying. Like he probably knew, and
When
then
he greeted
his
that white man,
announcement.
I was like, oh no, this is a setup.
Yeah, it was, and
And you make sure
credit
nobody
to
has
them.
guns. I love that. And it was a great disguise. Celebrity wedding. We got to be careful. Essence is that, you know what I'm saying? It was so, like, okay, Calvin, you using your big brain. I love this for you.
Yeah, but I don't know how I feel about him running for mayor. Okay, I I thought he was supposed to. Basically, I was under the premise that something bad was going to happen to him for he was going to do self-sacrifice, but I guess they didn't go that route. But maybe that's still on the table. But him running for office just feels like it's going to open another problem here that is going to, because I don't think this is done. Because they still got to go to trial for all this shit. So it's like, yeah. So I'm really concerned. That's just me.
Do we think a DNA test is going to happen? Bookworm 57, as well as a couple other people, were saying, why didn't they conduct a DNA test?
Good question. I don't see why they have to. I mean, Essence already admitted to it, so like,
No,
what
not
did
for
he need to
Essence, for Elijah.
Oh, oh, that's a good point. Um, I think somebody's gonna have to peep game. I think someone's gonna find out that this guy isn't who he says he is. I don't know though. I don't know.
And we don't get no, like, hints at it because we don't know how Tosh and CJ feel about him. I've been waiting on that. Like, is CJ skeptical? What is
If
going on?
anybody is going, if anybody would have suspicions, I think it would be Taj because Taj is very perceptive. He's like on game. So I
But
if he
he
had
could be
any,
distracted right now because he been lied to about his unborn child after he decided that he was going to sacrifice his life because he thinks that him making that decision makes him a better man or whatever. And then now being able to finally have the woman that he wanted all along. I don't know if Taj's head is all the way on straight right now. I think he might be in the clouds. He might not catch much.
all right, well, if you're gonna be in the clouds for somebody, it should be Rebecca Wilson. So go ahead, do you play
Rebecca Bell.
or Rebecca Bell? My fault. Right,
I'm
Rebecca
like,
Bell. Yeah,
or Reb. I'm like, are the names gonna change? Is it still gonna be Reb, or is it gonna be Babe? Or like, what is it gonna be? That's what I need
Ooh,
to know.
we need to know.
he's
He
probably
can't
gonna
give up
still
Reb.
call her.
He can't give that
Probably
up.
still gonna call her Rebel. It's such a
And
full circle moment, man. Because
I
this
do.
brother,
Go ahead, Kofi.
I was just saying, it's a full circle moment because I remember watching the first episode. This brother found out this chick could sing, and he just ran into the club looking for her, gave him a lap dance, and then it was so awkward and like, nah, I just want to talk. And then we fast forward to now where he's like, he wants to get away to just clear his head and spend do life with this woman that God has put before you. This, like, is she the one? Yes, she is. Is this the
and I
one?
and I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like Taj has the fortitude and the backbone to defend him in Rebel's love. Like, why is it that Taj and Rebel have more quality to their foundation and their love, their connection compared to his sister and Malcolm? They got the quantity, they got the years, but they don't have the quality. You know what I mean? Not compared to Taj and Rebel. To me, like
Yeah.
I totally see like Taj standing up for Rebel and their love and their connection. I don't see that solidness between Malcolm and CJ. I just don't
Before
see
I
it.
thought I saw it. Like Malcolm was like taking a lot on the chin, was standing 10 toes down. But I think what you're talking about is going to speak to CJ getting to a better place. Like I think that she's going through a renaissance right now in her life, period. Aside from her relationship with Malcolm, she's finally standing up to her mama, like really learning of all of the things that's happening behind the scenes and speaking to what is and is not okay. Tosh has been, really impactful and pushing her to speak up and take up space and all of that. And I think if we are to take anything from who we see her as right now and like backtrack it a little bit, I would imagine her being a young girl who experienced a lot of the same things that Denita probably experienced from her mama, where she had to shrink herself and just wasn't able to speak or do certain things. So she could have picked Malcolm as a mate in a season where she wasn't truly honoring herself, didn't even really know who she was, and he might have fit who she was trying to pretend to be, or who the kingdom felt like CJ was and needed to be, and now CJ is a completely different person, which is why we're seeing it not be as equally yoked. I don't know.
That is great
May I
insight, E.
interject? I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was like, while I agree with both points, I'm not quick to say that. I'm like, yes, Taj it will and does defend Rebel. We've seen it time and time again. But just as a simple fact, I think there's a crack in their foundation. I'm not
Mm.
gonna jump to the conclusion. I was like, if we remember, like this woman has experienced several miscarriages, full, and then had one where it was full. Like there are cracks in the foundation. So at one point, I do believe they were strong, but going through something like that could shake anybody's foundation. And I'm like, and
Mm.
then on top of her growth, as you pointed out, Erica. So it looks that way, but I don't think that there was never a time where Malcolm, as much as CJ felt strength, I think Malcolm did too, because
Mm-hmm.
CJ did not put him honor her marriage and put him first.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not quick to say that he would defend. It's like they've been through a lot.
Yeah, but
And
I think that you
I can
become.
understand that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that you also become more susceptible to the strains that come with certain life things depending on where you are and if you are or are not as aligned as you would hope to be. So that's why I'm going to, I don't necessarily know if they are right for each other, because it feels like there would be, at least within this universe, they've already given us an example of that with Taj and Rebel. Like, Rebel has been fighting Taj, fighting Caesar. Like, she has been fighting to not be who she naturally is, which naturally, like, lines up, even like up against all of what she thinks she actually wants, literally lines up to make her very equally yoked with Taj. For CJ to be in a space where she's the oldest child to this demanding and dubious ass mother, this cheating ass daddy, inside of this church structure with its own rules, I don't know. I think that Malcolm is a good man and has a good job and will have a good future, similar to like how Denita and Calvin got matched up, but there could have not been a bunch of love there. I feel like it's a lot easier for your foundation to crack if it was not as solid as it was supposed to be from the jump.
And one thing
I
I
can
will
agree with that.
one thing I will give the writers credit for, well, a lot of things, but I do love the way that CJ has been like transforming before our eyes.
Mm,
Like just the
Yes.
metamorphosis, what is it, the cocoon into the butterfly.
mm-hmm.
I mean the caterpillar into the butterfly. Like I as an individual though, like as a woman, as a songstress, as a daughter, as a sister, I've been seeing those developments within her.
Yeah.
Not necessarily being with Malcolm though, but I've seen her blossom and flourish in other areas, which is why I think, to your point, I think she's outgrowing him in a sense. That
Mm,
version of her is not what we see now post season 2 is probably not the same person that got with Malcolm
right.
years ago.
And you know what else is coming up for me as we like unpack this? I, like Erica personally, am triggered by the idea of like obligatory love. I hate it. Like, I hate the idea. I hate the feeling if I'm in a space where I feel like somebody is doing something because they feel like they have to. I have a huge thing about one, feeling hard to love because I'm very complicated. I'm very like emotional and self-aware, and just I speak to a lot of things that a lot of people don't speak to. Cool. One of Erica's things is feeling hard to love and feeling like people are doing something because they feel like they have to versus they actually want to. And when I think about, like I said, unpacking what we're unpacking right now, specifically when looking at CJ and Malcolm and Rebel and Taj, so much of what we've seen play out with Rebel and Taj has been, I feel like, Taj doing things because he just feels called to. He don't feel obligated. Like, it just feels like it's the natural progression, the natural thing for him to do in a moment to respond to this problem or to support her in this way. It just feels like something that comes from a very real place in him. But when I look at CJ and Malcolm, a bunch of their interactions feel like, I need to do this because you're my wife. I need to do this because you're my husband. I could be off base, but what do y'all think about that? Which to
But
me
see,
is a red flag.
I'm the same way in relationships though. I'm like, I love it if that's what you want to do. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like obligation and duty when it comes to my relationships. You know, be there, show up, XYZ, because that's what you want. And that's why I'm not manipulative and controlling. And so whoever and whatever is because they want to be there. I'm the same way. And it seems like it's a road that's like not too many people are on that path, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
people play a lot of games and they pull strings and they're manipulative and controlling. But I'm the exact same way. I'm like, it's because you want to. And that's the real deal. Because you want to. Is you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
same way.
Do we see that with CJ and Malcolm though? Are they doing all of the things that they're doing because they want to?
You know, I felt that it was a have to, obligatory when I was like, hey, I just want to apologize to you because I asked him to be my best man prior to me finding out y'all are having problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "Oh, we're gonna go to counseling," and he was like, "You good?" And she was like, "We'll see." And then you see like kind of the attitude, and it's like, "Well, are you really?" Are you doing that because you really want to save your marriage, or are you doing that because you feel like this is what you're supposed to do? So I that's the point. Everything that you and Cindy were saying, that's when I saw that in their marriage. I'm
Mm,
like, well, I'm like, if you really felt like that, you wouldn't. I'm like, I know that like being hurt, it comes in waves and it shows in different forms, but like just having that hope on your face with your brother, and then turning you have like attitude, him as soon as you walk out the room. I'm like, girl, are you sure you want to go to counseling?
right. And it feels like the relationship is already over. Like, it's not that I'm saying that you can't have obligations to people or you don't have any responsibilities within relationships. I just feel like if that's the only thing motivating you, then you're that's probably the sign of the end. So that to me, it just kind of gives red flag within their relationship.
And I said this. I wasn't on another live, but there was another live, and they were discussing the show. And I think Essence is gonna be a problem because of how she ended her life. And I was kind of paying attention to the words she was saying. She was saying that I'm not gonna let someone take what I know is meant to be. And immediately I heard a child, a thin line between love and hate, and that's what made me so nervous. Like, because while yes, I feel like we're gonna see Todd and Rebel together, but it's not gonna be smooth. And I think Essence is gonna be that monkey wrench, or she'll try to be. Um,
But
Mm.
like
Taj and Rebel though, they're battle tested. I mean, they're warriors. Like they've had it hasn't been smooth like the whole time.
it's not
So
gonna affect their relationship so much as I think because Essence is such a public figure. I think that'll bring even more frustration onto Rebel because like
Mm.
Essence seems like the type she'll go after Rebel, not Taj,
And then Rebel
because
has
she's
like
like
a
the upper.
shaky ass position right now within her gospel career. Like she's supposed to be on her redemption, and but also I feel like this season, I well, one, I agree, and I could totally see what you're saying playing out. But also Rebel has like you said, Cindy, with her being battle tested, she's also had the fight of like, is she gonna walk away from her gospel career, realizing that the true impact and purpose is there, she feels happy it's there, and it's worth fighting for. So I don't know if we're gonna get the same responses from Rebel when presented with the smoke that Essence can come with, by way of provoking judgment, from like gospel community and fans and all of that.
I do love the way that the writers have given Rebel a support network though. I
Mm,
mean, Caesar, I think Jewel, I think that's what her name is.
yeah.
Jewel, Taj. The writers have really given Rebel an awesome support network. I mean, her bestie, from the club got, you see, what happened to her early in the show, it's history. So I love the support network because it's authentic.
Yeah.
It's her support network sees what's in her. They're aware of all of her stages and phases. They've witnessed her growing pains. And I love that for her though. Support network is golden. It's priceless.
Yeah, I think maybe that means that the theme for Rebel this season is her actually leaning into it and not backtracking, like not going back to her like old ways. So when provoked by Essence, not fighting her, not cussing her out. Like I think those are going to be the things that are going to be hard for her, and everybody around her is going to be rallying for her to like take the high road, where she's very much so, I'm gonna take whatever road gonna get me there fast type of girl.
And may I say that since after the thing that happened with Xavier, you see a whole like there is some peace about Rebel
Mm-hmm.
since she declared like, man, I feel home here. She didn't say those exact words, but like the way she's been moving since, like I can definitely see that she probably won't respond the same way. It's some remnants there, but
Yeah.
like she has so much peace. Like, like I said in the last line, like the fact that she didn't run away and like she wants to do
Mm-hmm.
this and she wants to be there, um, it speaks a lot.
Listen, the everything I need is right here got my ass. I tell you. I said,
I
look at
know
our
that's right.
little
I said, I
dove.
know that's.
Love
I was
that for
like,
her.
DJ could never. The DJ could
Okay.
never.
With his old hating ass. I actually started trying to rewatch before I watched the finale, but then I ran out of time, so I was like, "Oh, I gotta go watch the finale." I started rewatching, and I went back to that episode where he pulled up on Essence in the club, and I was like, "Zion, you a clown for real? Like, why are you such a clown? You could have been so much more than this. You was hopping in the bathtub while the shower was running to console her. You had all the potential in the world, and now you a clown." Anything else we didn't talk about, y'all?
So I don't know if I'm still not sure about Reagan. I I think there's more to that story. I
Mm.
think that
Meaning she's not solely a
Danita's
victim?
love. No, what I'm saying, no, I'm saying while yes, Danita's mom was in the conspiracy to commit the crime. I don't know. I still think for some reason she covered up something else.
Mm.
Now, I believe she's 100% involved in Danny's death because the fact that Calvin had to try to come up with some money, like $500,000, to pay off Danny to give to her
But
parents.
even that, I'm just like, yeah, they gonna have to make this thing a little bit more plain for me. Because why kill Danny behind it? Calvin, if y- did you know that the mama was involved in this way? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, see, I think it was through Chief Ray because Chief Ray is indebted to the West, like Jeremiah and then Davita's mom. So
Mm-hmm.
I think Calvin, thinking that Ray is his friend, was like, "Hey man, like the girl at one of our gatherings is, blackmailing me, or extorting me for
Well,
this
he
amount
said
of
that he
money."
didn't
And
tell. He didn't tell the chief. Oh, actually,
but
okay.
that's weird. No,
So
wait, because
this
he
is
said
what
he
happened.
called
Remember
around to his
we saw the
people.
conversation with him and Sasha, and he was like, Sasha, who did you tell? Sasha told the
Yeah,
mama. Got it. And then
yeah,
that's when he pulled him
yeah,
up.
yeah.
But you want to kill this girl over $500,000, ma'am?
But they cash strapped. That's probably why. Because you know that in season one, that both the church and the record company are cash poor.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, and like it's not only the scandal, we don't have like we can't afford to like have this scandal because we don't have the money to recover, right?
Right.
So that's why I feel like she was like, take care of this, Ray. And like Sasha, I think Sasha has something to do with Elisha being there.
Mmm.
Cause like people, I think people kind of miss Sasha is close to the like she's not indebted to Denita and Calvin. She is indebted to Danita's parents. She
Yeah.
works like when Danita fired her, they were like, "Well, your parents said I can stay." Like when they came to the hospital,
Yeah.
she came to the hospital with them.
Yep.
So, because you were saying that I like he has to know a piece of information in order to even run this con. Like the only other person that would know something like that is Sasha.
It's Sasha. Wow. I did not even think about that. Look at me counting Sasha's old bimbo ass out when she cooking up a major scheme. She gonna get either her record, she gonna get her recording contract, or she gonna get the money. Listen, I'm not here for it, but I'm here for the drama. Lord, what y'all think about that?
I'm sure it's going to be some more dirt that's going to come out. The writers are finding dirt. They They finding the messiness. It's. I mean, just to even look at season 2, even in comparison to season 1, like yeah, they they bringing it. So it's gonna be more mess, I'm sure.
I
Secrets,
feel like I was
lies, all
sleeping
of
on
it.
Sasha too much. I didn't know Mama's capable of all this. Kofi, what you think? You love Sasha and her little leopard. Kimberly Felder says I forgot about Sasha. Don't put put in past her. Don't put anything past her. Yes, literally. Tequila says yes, definitely. She said it herself. That's what changed when she was singing in the jail. She said God is putting people in her life to remind her of that. Yeah, she did. Rebel's dialogue this episode was fire all around. It might be Taj that peeps game about his brother, and he gonna look at the situation and don't want to put emotions in a child who isn't his. I feel that. Anything else? Any predictions for season 3 y'all want to share before we get ready to wrap it up? This has been such a lovely talk. I appreciate y'all so much. I got to unpack some things, new discoveries. Now, Mimi, you gonna have me spiraling thinking about Sasha and all that she could possibly do and be a part of, and trying to tie things together.
I'm trying to. I'm like, that's where my mind is going. I'm like, I'm not even a writer, but I'm like, I'm. Let me be in the writer's room hypothetically and see how this would map out.
Kobe, Cindy, anything else y'all want to add? Any predictions you have?
I can't think of any. We know you're gonna keep us posted when you hear something about season 3,
Yes,
because you were the one who let me know about season 2. So I was like, okay,
for sure.
yes.
Hopefully we don't get a late notice like we did this time. Hopefully they announce a little bit earlier, probably before they go into production. That would be lovely.
My prediction is that you're gonna get Chandra on the live one day. That's my prediction for
I'm
next season.
actually already working on it. I'm working on it. He's so busy, but yeah, I'm working on it. We've been talking behind the scenes. He's really dope. He's a nice guy. We cooking for y'all. I'm trying to do some things. Kofi, before we get out of here, you still around? Are you just listening? Are you checking the stats on the game or something? And thank y'all in the chat. Joshua, McDowell, Bookworm 57, Tequila, Money Green Tay. I'm sorry we didn't get you to sound off when you popped in. I wasn't sure what's going on with your audio, but you know, you're always welcome. Whitney Scott. I'm trying to shout out some people who might have popped in a little bit later that I didn't say hello to. This has been a really great conversation. If you're catching this on replay, feel free to still drop a comment and share your thoughts and your reactions to the finale or the overall season. Before we get out of here, what will y'all rate the season as a whole on a scale of 1 to 10?
I say a 9.
Okay.
8.5.
You said an 8.5, Mimi?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Kofi might have took a snack break, but he gonna come back and realize that we gone.
Yeah, there was some unnecessary scenes for me throughout the season. I was
Mm,
like, could have cut that. We could have got more of this.
okay.
But yeah, it
I
was
feel
great.
that. I would probably give this season a 9. 9 out of 10. All right. Money Green Tay gives the season an 8.5. Right along with Mimi. Thank y'all so much for joining me in the Discord to talk it out. Kimberly Felder gives it a 9. Again, I will have my breakdowns, I promise. I know that they're late, but I will have my breakdowns for each episode. And maybe I'll do a discussion for the overall season. And then jump into some of these predictions and theories. Like the Sasha one got my head spinning right now. I ain't gonna hold you. And I already had a couple of other subject videos that I wanted to work on. So we're not done talking about Kingdom Business. Make sure that you have subscribed and turn on your bell notifications for the Kingdom Business playlist so that you don't miss out specifically on any of the Kingdom Business content that I will post in the coming weeks. The next few weeks, we will still be talking about Kingdom Business, even though it is over. Even though we've come to the end of the road of season 2. Fingers crossed we get a season 3. It's looking good so far. Like, I feel like they are definitely still going to get greenlit for season 3. It just hasn't been officially announced yet, but I will keep you posted. Give this live a like for me. And enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. Get ready for the week. Hopefully y'all have an amazing week. If you watch Tyler Perry Sisters, we will be back live on Wednesday. And yeah, that's all I really got. I appreciate y'all. Happy holidays.
Yeah, appreciate you. Happy holidays. Appreciate y'all.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, peace out.